Happy April, ladies and gentlemen. This is not an April Fool's joke. It is officially my birthday month, and I am the heelest of Ballers. It's back once again on the channel. As you can see by the title, it's time to talk NXT Stand and Deliver live from the factory. That's such a good venue. Good little venue. I think NXT was there a few years ago. It's in St. Louis, Missouri. Not bad. So they were streaming on YouTube for the first time. I actually like that. Maybe it should be keeping that for the future. We shall see. But anyways, let's get into it. Let's talk about the card. Kicking off with the Vanity Project going up against Los Americanos, Bravo and Raya, whatever that guy's name is. Oh, yeah, this match. The Los Americanos won a freaking tag match on NXT this past week. Like a gauntlet match, just the triple threat style. They won that match. Now they're facing out against the Vanity Project. I'm not a fan. Just not a big fan of the Vanity Project. Outside of Jackson Drake, that is my guy right there. He is awesome. But yeah, I just want Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne back. Take the mask off. And that's it. Just take the mask off. That's all. Anyways, let me not rant. Anyways, it should be fun. I'm not gonna say it's gonna be a bad match, but it should be fun. The Vanity Project are gonna retain. That's all I'm gonna say about this one. I don't see new tag champs being crowned. It'd be pretty wild and insane if Los Americanos actually won, but it's not gonna happen. The Vanity Project are gonna retain the tag team championships, and that'll pretty much be it. Not saying it's gonna be a bad match or anything. Just you could have chose somebody else. You really could have chose somebody else. That's just me. So there you go. The Vanity Project are going to retain the tag team championships. We have Sol Ruca and Zarya next. Ruca is finally broken up, and the heelest of Balors is not happy at the slightest. He's very sad. I'm very sad and upset. Of course, these are my girls. I love Ruca. I loved it. A little fun concept and all that. The two polar opposites became best friends, and now they're broken apart because of jealousy, envy, rage, and just like chaos right now. Zarya thinks that Sol Ruca cost her many opportunities and all that, and Sol Ruca thinks she's given many opportunities all that, and Zarya's not being grateful. Can you two just hug and make up and make me happy, please? Please, that's all I ask. Anyways. So yeah, oh man, it's gonna be fun. But who do I have winning? I'm cool either way, honestly. I really am cool. If Zarya wins, I'll be fine. Sol Ruca wins, I'll be fine. I just don't want them to fight. I just really don't like to see my favorites fight and all that. The crowd's behind Zarya because they think she's right. They're not behind Sol Ruca. They think she's wrong. Either way you swing. It's how you think, I guess. Who do I have winning? I guess Zarya. I guess Zarya's going to win, and Sol Ruca is going to be called up to the main roster and all that, even though I kind of hope that she goes on to win the NXT Women's Championship, but that's probably not going to happen. So I think this will be Sol Ruca's last match at NXT. This is her send-off. Zarya is going to be put over, and that's what I'm going to go with. Zarya is going to beat Sol Ruca, and I'm going to be a broken mess at the end of this match. So there you go. Zarya. Up next, we have the NXT North American Championship on the line as the champion, my guy Miles Bourne, defending his championship against Johnny Wrestling, Johnny Takeover, Johnny Gargano. Gargano's been going through a slump these past few months. His tag partner went to AEW. He's been in a rut these past few months. Candice LeRae's trying to cheer him up and all that. And he won a gauntlet match last week on NXT. And now I guess he's finally getting his spring back in his step because he sees that Johnny Wrestling's coming back this weekend. I have no doubt. And hopefully he'll stay like that and keep Johnny in NXT. And while you're at it, send Motors and Machine Guns down to NXT. Anyways, moving on. This is going to be very fun. Come on, Gargano and Takeover. And yes, I still call them takeovers because that's just how I am. Anyways, moving on. This is going to be fun. This is really, really fun. Johnny Gargano is literally the king of takeovers, dude. We all know that. Johnny Wrestling, Johnny Gargano, we all know that stuff. And he's incredible. And finally, he's getting back into his groove and all that, he teased a little bit of, his old edge coming back this week. And honestly, I think it's going to come back. He's teased it, and it's probably going to happen. We'll see a little bit of Rebel Heart this week. Guarantee you. But I do have Miles Bourne retaining the NXT North American Championship. Gargano's great. He's awesome. But he ain't going to win. It's great to see you back at NXT, though. But Miles Bourne is retaining the NXT North American Championship. That's what I got. speaking of North American Championship, up next we have the Women's North American Championship as Blake Monroe faces off against Tatum Paxley. I am so hyped for this because these are my girls. I'm very excited. This is going to be very fun, and just the character dynamics between the two has already worked. Of course, after Tatum got rid of Izzy Dame inside of a steel cage, Blake Monroe decided to pop up from beneath the stage and drag her all the way to hell. That was pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, that was pretty cool. Then for the past few weeks, she stole a championship and hid in a freaking hotel room with it. Then she came out of the hotel room and all that. They had a little face-to-face this past week on NXT. It was great. It was really, really great, and it was fun. I can't wait. Very excited. Of course, Mariah is a former Women's North American champ. Of course, she lost because of a botch, but there you go. Yeah, and Tatum just won the championship from Izzy Dame back at Vengeance Day. So, this is Tatum's first title defense, I believe, and Mariah is trying to get it back. I'm kind of torn on this match, I'm not gonna lie. I'm very torn on this match. But I have to choose a winner, and I'm gonna go with Tatum Paxley to retain the Women's North American Championship. I think they got bigger plans for Blake Monroe. They don't have anything to do with this championship. I would love if she wins it back. I will be happy if she wins it back. But Tatum kind of just got it. This could be a trilogy. I'd be down for it. Let this be a trilogy. Please. I'd love it. But I'm going to go with Tatum Paxley to retain the Women's North American Championship. Still should be a very fun match, and I'm very excited to see my faves go at it. So, there you go. Up next in triple threat action, we have the NXT Women's Championship on the line as Jessie J defends her championship against Kendall Gray and Lola Vice. Well, and I'm going to contender was supposed to be crowned on NXT. I believe Kendall tapped out and Lola's shoulders were down. So, Robert Stone, being the good GM that he is, decided, off the air, by the way, to say, hey, we're going to have a triple threat. Why didn't you say it on the show? I don't know. That was just weird. I guess you wanted to end the show with suspense, and I don't know. That was kind of stupid, but that's just me. JC's been champion since last year. Originally, she lost to Tatum Paxley. Then she won it back from Tatum Paxley thanks to Izzy Dame. Izzy Dame also has a little hand in this as well. She was in that backstage segment with Fatal Influence and whatever. And I don't know where that's leading to, but, triple threat action. Kendall Gray is incredible at what she does. She has quickly become one of my favorites out there. And Lola Vice is long overdue for championship gold in NXT. I don't know why she haven't held gold yet in NXT. Come on now. What are we doing? Anyways, off that, this is going to be something. JC's losing. Right to WWE? Right, WWE? I don't know. We're going to find out, actually. I do think JC's losing. To who? I have no idea. I'm cool with Kendall Gray. Definitely fine with her. And like I said, she's quickly becoming my favorites. She's the runner-up to definitely be the one to take the gold. Then you have Lola Vice, who is long overdue for a championship in NXT. And as long as JC loses, I don't care. Just get the belt off her. I'm going to go with Kendall Gray to take the championship. I think, sadly, Lola's in there to take the pin, which I don't want. She doesn't need that nor deserve that. Personally, I would have one-on-one match with JC, but I don't know what they're doing here. I really don't know. But I do think somehow, someway, Kendall Gray is going to walk out women's champion. And I don't know what the whole deal is with Izzy Dame being backstage with Fatal Influence. For all we know, she can interfere in this match and just, it is no DQ. And then JC somehow walks out champion again. I don't know. But I'm going to go with Kendall Gray to win the NXT Women's Championship. Please. Get the title off JC. Please. Anyways, that's what I'm going with. Kendall Gray to become the NXT Women's Champion. And then the main event for the NXT Championship on the line, we have the defending champion, say his name, and he appears. Joe Hendry defending the title against All Ego Ethan Page, Ricky Saints, and Tony D'Angelo, the vigilante who sits up in the rafters. Well, not the rafters, but still, you know what I mean. The vigilante who's out for revenge and all that. All right, pretty cool stuff. I'm loving the bromance between Ricky Saints and Ethan Page. It's been cracking me up every week. They have just cool chemistry. They're getting each other's nerves and their friends, getting on each other's nerves and their friends again. It's just fun. It's just so much fun. Joe Hendry's been all right as champ. I think again he's a little placeholder. No offense to the guy, he's a placeholder champ until they get the title on to somebody else, which is fair. Joe Hendry, it's cool. It's cool, I guess. Then there's Tony D'Angelo, who after he got done taking care of his last problem, is now going to take care, well, his last problem was with Dark State. Now he's going to take care of his real thing, which is taking the NXT Championship, which I think he's going to do because I have Tony D'Angelo winning this match. Yeah, I do. I think Ricky Sainz is going to chase. I think he's staying in NXT. I think this will probably be maybe the swan song for Ethan Page. He gets called up, or for all we know, him and Ricky can get called up. And Joe Hendry maybe could get called up. I don't freaking know. You don't really need to lose everybody. You don't need another raid of NXT again. Let's not do that. But I do have Tony D'Angelo winning the NXT Championship. It just kind of makes sense. I could definitely see a scenario where Joe Hendry somehow retains. I don't think either of the heels are winning. I think Tony D is, I guess, he's a tweener, I guess. There you go. That's what I got, really. Tony D'Angelo, I think, is winning the NXT Championship. Should be fun. Afterwards, I don't know what's going to happen, really be honest with you, but I think a new champion's going to be crowned, and I'm going to go with Tony D'Angelo to walk out NXT Champion. And that is my predictions for NXT Stand and Deliver. I'll take this over WrestleMania. I'll just say that. It's not the strongest card in the world, but I'll take this over whatever the build for WrestleMania has been. So there's that. Should be a fun show, and I'm hoping coming out of it, the aftermath is on my birthday. So very excited for that, to have the aftermath of this show. So hopefully it delivers. Pun intended, I guess. There you go. Anyways, on the heels to Balor's. Hope everyone has a great, great day. Stay safe out there. And I will see you on the next one when you see me on the Lose Lunch podcast, also discussing the show with my friends, and I can't wait. Welcome to April, ladies and gentlemen. I will see you all on the next one. Please do sweep the like button down below. Subscribe to this, like this one. Follow me on Twitter, Hill Balor, Instagram, Hill Balor YT. And I will see you all on the next one. Too sweet. Peace out.